but very soon it will be May. But it's not yet. Happy Beltane. Happy whatever it is today. It's the end of May. It's the end of May. It's the beginning of May. It's not even the start of May. I don't know why I said it's the end of May. It's the end of April. But April doesn't rhyme with day. So I'm still here. So hello, how are you? It's the end of April, the end of my birthday month. The whole of April. My month. It's my birthday month. I don't know what it is lately though. I'm looking at my face and I'm going, eh. I've just been looking at videos of myself going, oh, that's not as nice as it used to be, or not whether it used to be nice or not, I don't know, and this might explain why nobody watches me anymore, because I've got such a horrible face. It's just grown. I'm wondering whether it was this time last year when I had a tooth out, whether my whole face shape has changed, or whether it's just because I'm old now. Both of those things, really, probably. Yeah. So how are you, everybody? All the millions of people thronging to my live stream. Two! Oh, there was nobody when I said that, and all of a sudden, as if by magic, two appeared! They were very good. So I don't know who you are. I'm assuming that you're the same people, the usual suspects. So hello! It's probably Terry, Philip, Stephanie, some other people, Arifin and Gol and Ollie, and some other people that sometimes come here. Is it one of you? Yes, I thought it was. It's always the same people. Although I put up something with the Britney Spears bear the other day, and it said that I only had 4 views for the longest time. Hello, Ollie. Hello, Stephanie. Hello. You got me. Yeah, I've got you. There's only 2 people here, and both of them I know. So that's good. But I put up the Britney Spears bear thing and the perfume, and it got no views at all. And then all of a sudden it got like 300, which for me isn't too bad, really. Not too bad. But today I was looking at the pond. Ollie was looking at the pond, and he said, "What's that thing wriggling in it?" Because we've had like a lot of it's just bubbles on the top. Well, I thought it was frog spawn, but then I just looked at it after I posted the video and realised that it's just bubbles. But then I dipped in and I did get a tiny little it's a nymph, yeah. But it's a nymph of some sort, but we did find a little tadpole, but the light was going and my camera had run out of power. And also I took it out with a little sieve and looked at it and it stopped moving, so I'm hoping it's still alive. And there's more than one, but there's an actual tadpole, a very tiny one, that had all the hallmarks of a real tadpole. Obviously that thing that I posted is just some sort of yes, exactly, that's what we've discovered. Exactly, it's a very fake mosquito. It's pretending to be a mosquito, but it isn't. It's something that isn't a mosquito, but it's trying to scare us anyway, and it wasn't a frog. But this is the important thing. When I looked with the little sieve, there was definitely at least one tadpole, and where there's one tadpole, there's more than one tadpole. So I've got high hopes that we will have some sort of froggy, newty, toady thing to eat all the insects that are otherwise going to bite us. Although apparently the thing that you just posted about that nymph of that Chrysopedia, whatever it was, the chrysalid, the chrysalid thing. Chrissy the nymph is going to unfortunately get eaten. Yes, a chironamid, not a Chrissy mid. Cairo, the Mayflowers, yes. April showers, let go, and then there's going to be May showers, and yes, there are going to be tadpoles everywhere, and they'll have things to eat. They'll eat all the things in the pond. Yay, pond. We don't have any mud skippers. They're probably destined for bigger ponds than the one we've got, the little pond, but it is full. So that all the bubbles on the top are probably all the frogs or newt or toads. Not sure what it is. We have had mostly frogs in past years, but we didn't, I don't think, have any last year because the pond dried up because of the terribly terribly warm weather. Wasn't that warm, it just wasn't very wet. So this year I'm hoping they have returned, and we'll have them everywhere. I don't know what that is. I suddenly swat. My voice has gone all weird. Yeah, so when you were moving the leaves and things, you could find them in amongst the leaves. It was very nice. You'd find a frog on a log in a leaf, a leaf, everywhere. So it was pretty good. So yeah, we're gonna have frogs or something of that ilk. My mother has got newts in her pond, and she's got a new next door neighbour, and they've got little kids. So they came over, and we were looking in the pond, just dug in the bottom and got some actual newts out, and they're very excited about the newts. Newts are very exciting. They've got tails. They're like frogs, only with tails. It's like the tadpole tails don't drop off. They just carry on into adulthood. They did not give away childish things. They carried on being newts because they wanted their tails. Their tails were part of them, and they said, no, I'm not giving that up. I want my tail. It is a lovely tail. If I get rid of the tail, then it will be a fail. I need my tail. I'm a newt. And so that's what they do. That's the difference between frogs and newts, is basically the tail. They're just sort of long frogs, really. A long frog is a newt. A short newt is a frog. And that's the only difference. They start off the same and they change. Yes, the salamanders with the frills. Yes. They don't quite look like that. But yes, salamanders are nice. And I like chameleons. Comma. Chameleon is going to be a bit like a salamander. But I don't think they start the same. I don't think they spawn like frogs do and newts do. And lizards are not the same as amphibians. Amphibians live like the water. That's why I've got high hopes that the tadpole that I fished out, and it was quite damp. I think it's still alive because it was only out there for a briefest of second, and they're amphibians, so I'm sure that, yes, it was a very impressive. Yeah, thank you. Yes, I look just like a salamander. I do. Oh, I do the tongue too. Do salamanders have the tongue? Well, they do have the frills. Frills. Cheap frills. Everybody likes cheap frills. Yeah. So, yeah. So, is everybody looking forward to the coronation of the King of the Charleses? Apparently, we all have to swear fealty to the crown and go, yes, I promise to serve the king and to help other people and to keep the guide law and all that. Yes, looking forward to it. There is apparently going to be a street party. I know Ollie went away and he came back, and I had loads of things that had shoved it through the door saying street party, and I put them on his desk and he looked at them and went, street party, and threw them away. And then yesterday he said, I've been looking around and on the trees there's the invitations to a street party, but we haven't had an invitation to the street party, have we? I'm like, yes, we have. I just kept fending them off. Every time I looked, like I was coming down the stairs and there were people shoving street party invitations into our door. All over the place. But no! Didn't want to go, but wanted to be invited is apparently what it was. Hello, Keon! Haven't you seen that? Yes. Now, I mean, I think there's all sorts of variations. That's one thing. The app, the coronavirus app, has broken now. It stopped working. It's gone. I got a ping at the beginning of the week going, thank you for using our NHS app to track the spread, but we're not using it anymore. Just in the same week as there's a new variation that's apparently terrible, and you should start wearing masks and things on public transport. It's like, well, that was really good timing then, wasn't it? Great, there's like 130 cases and 5 people have already... They are ex-people. They were people and now they're not, which is very sad for the families, but that's quite a high proportion out of 130 people. So that's a worry. Especially since everybody's going to be gathering next week going, I love the king, woo! And eating ice cream and cake panic in the streets and everybody is going to be sort of falling down in the streets and everything's going to be bad. I think it's a bit of a problem. I think that maybe everything's not over yet and we shouldn't be gathering in the streets, and maybe we should just go, let's stay inside and wait till it goes again, because it's not gone. It's Coronation Street. It's Coronation in the streets. Coronation Street. Nobody gets tested. No, they don't. But we've got some tests. Maybe we should sell them to people at £100 a pop. But they probably don't work anymore because they've been hanging around in a cupboard. But maybe they do. I don't know. So we've got loads of tests and no need to. Coronation Sweets, exactly. Coronation Treats. Coronation Chicken, which is chicken in a mayonnaise curry sauce, which is a bit weird, and it's got sultanas in it too, and possibly yogurt. I'm not entirely sure. It was invented for the Queen in 1953. I don't know whether the Queen ever had it. Probably not. I doubt it. I very much doubt the Queen ever had coronation chicken, even though it was invented in her honour. And apparently it's all the rage again. Now there's another coronation. Coronation. A corona nation. A coronavirus nation for everybody. Ah, no, it's the coronation show. A coronation virus show. Oh no. They're good until the end of the year. Okay, that's good. But are they though? And yes, so that's going to be worrying. Apparently this big party that's in the street is going to be the day after the coronation. Because everybody's going to be staying in and going dib dib dib, I swear fealty to the new king, or yes sir, doff me cap, yes I must serve. And that's what they'll be doing on the Saturday, and then on Sunday they'll have jelly and ice cream in the street. Yay. Oh, is it Corrigan or Stephanie? Stephanie, hello Terry. Stephanie isn't Greek, is it, for coroner? Stephanie or Corrigan? Is Corrigan mean something? Corrigan sounds like it means something to do with crowns or boats. A bit of a not asked for fact. No, facts are good. Facts are great. Stephanie, thank you. You are crowned with a name. Your name is a crown. Stephanie, yes. I thought you meant Stephanie, but because I was talking about coronations, and Corrigan has got a crown in it. So, yeah, fooled me. Yeah, threw me. Yes. I did try learning Greek once. Ancient and modern. I remember that what was happening. I was about 14 or 15, and maybe 16. I don't know. Anyway, I got very drunk on Cinzano Bianco, and I decided to learn Greek. And I thought I'd learned quite a lot, but then I got sober and then I realised I hadn't. Yes, I don't know why, but when I was about 16, I bought loads of Cinzano Bianco or Martini, which is very much the same, which is a vermouth. Shaken, not stirred. It's like half of what you put in a martini, but not the ginny part or the vodka part, whatever. And ancient Greek is amazing. Yes, I should get back to it. I did learn the whole the Greek letters and everything, and I can read Greek, and I can sort of understand some of it, because the thing is, a lot of the words are borrowed words, the borrowed English words. They're not borrowed words from, obviously, English has got a lot of borrowed words from Greek, so there's a lot of English words that are actually Greek in origin and Latin, and I studied Latin as well at school, so not for a long time, but I did enjoy it. I did all the stuff about Caecilius dying in Pompeii, and how I was going to say Cerberus, not Cerberus, Grumio. No, that's something completely different. Oh, what the he had a slave that saved him. I can't remember what it was called. Loan words, exactly. Loan words, words that are on their own. That's a different word, but it sounds like the same one. Loan and loan, they're very similar words, except they mean very different things. I have borrowed something on my own. La 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 loan. I wish I did Latin at uni. That would have been fun. I like Greek better. Anyway, I like Latin and I like Greek, but I don't understand that much, but I can read them. It's just the thing about language. It's like a lot of things you don't, if you're listening to them, you're like, but if you read them, I find it quite easy to read other languages, even though I don't really know a lot of, and there's no language that I would say that I'm great at. But if you give me a book in any language, I can probably understand what's going on most of the time. Obviously, if it's in Mandarin or Hindi or something, I'm probably not, because it's not going to be in the Latin alphabet or the Greek alphabet. But if it's in the Greek or Latin alphabet, I can probably do a good approximation of knowing what's going on. But you say it to me and I'm like, oh. And I can't speak any of these languages. Like I French, easily read a book or oh, swellhead, or definitely a magazine in French. But you ask me to actually speak in French, non, je ne comprends pas. I can't speak French, but I do understand it. Yeah, exactly. Get somebody to translate and then you can understand anything. No, but like I said last week that I was looking at Interlingua. Did I say that? That this guy was talking in Interlingua, which is a mixture of all the Romance languages, really. And he's got the words on the screen as he's saying it. So I'm reading the words and listening at the same time and going, yeah, I understood that. That's fine. Because there's a lot of different languages all shoved together in a sock. I'm not sure how useful that actually would be, because people would just look at you funny. Have you ever seen The Name of the Rose, where Ron Perlman's character just speaks all different words and you can understand what he's saying, but it just sounds like he's gone, well, I think they just assume that there's something wrong with his mind, that he's speaking all these words. He's not speaking one language, he's speaking all the languages. So yeah, In the Name of the Rose. So Interlingua is a bit like that, where Esperanto is a different hat. Esperanto is very, very different to Interlingua, but they're both supposed to be international languages, like the language of love. I don't get the language of love. Nobody loves me. Don't really care. Never mind. I was going to say that, Elise. It's supposed to be like Esperanto. Yes, that's why I said Esperanto. I don't know whether the possibly the captions of it. Esperanto is one thing, one language. Bonavidito, Mr. Rimmer or something. Yeah, Esperanto is the language that they have Nivello and stuff like that level in Red Dwarf. But Interlingua is just all of the Romance languages stuck together, so you can sort of understand it just by, just like, oh, I know what you're saying, that's weird. Whereas you sort of, the same way, you can sort of understand what's going on in Esperanto. But I think Interlingua slightly easier from what I've seen, because the videos come past on the TikTok app, and I go, oh yeah, know what you're saying, that's fine. And obviously, well, I don't know any of these languages in depth. I know a tiny bit of Portuguese, and a tiny bit of Latin, a tiny bit of French, and a bit of Welsh. And that's about it. But I understood, and a bit of Greek. What's going on? What's going on? So that's useful, I suppose. Yes. Yeah, exactly. English is, as a lot of people said, 6 or 7 languages hidden in a coat pretending to get into the cinema. That's not the I can't remember what the exact quote is, but that's pretty much is it. Yeah, like 25 squirrels in a pair of underpants. That's what English is. Yeah. Spanish. Yeah, well, I don't know. Spanish is one of those things that I've never tried to learn, but that's one of the ones that if I see it in a book, I'm like, oh, I know what's going on with that, which is hard. because I don't really speak fast. I'm thinking maybe it was because of Sesame Street, because there's a little bit of Spanish in Sesame Street, and maybe I just picked it up from that. Yay. But Portuguese, I remember seeing in a book ages ago and going, well, that's weird. I can understand that. And I think actually, I think I read some Dutch in something and went, obviously. German, that's another one. German, I can sort of understand German, and I'm fascinated by that. And maybe Italian too, because it's a bit like Latin, only new Latin. So I don't understand any of these languages. Well, I sort of do understand these languages, but don't speak any of them, which is weird. So it's like I've got a facility for languages, but not if you want me to say anything. I cannot say anything in any of them, except maybe ciao, and si, and bonjour, and things like that. Hello, I'll say in several languages, and everyone will look at me funny going, yeah. A German parrot. Oh, a German parent. I thought my eyes have gone. Well, I thought you said you had a German parrot. I don't know why that would have made any sense at all. German parrots speak German, but parents are more useful, except if you really like parrots, because there's something to talk to when you're all alone. But you didn't say parrot, you said parent, which is something very different. Very different. Yes, now I've just got Welsh parents. Just the ordinary Welsh parents. But I did another DNA thing this week because I got the opportunity to upload it to a free site and found out that in ancient times I am mostly sort of European, but there's like 2% ancient, there's like 8% or 15% something, and I can't remember what it was. Anyway, there was various different like steppe herders and hunter gatherers and Anatolian farmers and all of that sort, the same sort that you usually get. But what was most interesting, there was 2% ancient DNA, this is ancient DNA, 2% Native American and 2% African. Now they're more interesting to me because obviously living in Wales, you're like, oh, that's nice. I mean, African I can understand because everybody's out of Africa and everything, and African gets into and that's understandable. But 2% Native American, because they went the other way, so that's more interesting to me, and they keep coming up with that, so I don't know what that's about, but I'm quite happy about that, because I do match the, there was, I can't remember what it was called, but there was a body found in North America with ancient DNA, not the Kenwick man or something, there was a different one. Anyway, I sort of matched that a very low degree, and so that's very ancient DNA, and a bit of it in me. But there's 2% Native American and there's 2.4% Neanderthal, so I don't know what that means really. I'm more Neanderthal than I am anything else really. But I think everybody European, with any European in them, is something like between 1.5 and 4% Neanderthal. Everybody that's got any European DNA in them, or Asian DNA. There's a lot of people in Africa that don't have any Neanderthal, but anyone that's got any ancestor that ever lived, that ever moved anywhere else does. So it's what happened to the Neanderthals? Did we eat them? Have we got the DNA in them because we ate them, or did we breed with them? Whichever way, maybe that's for another day. Anyway, Neanderthals, they were very good at drawing. All those cave paintings that you see, and you go, whoa, they're great. Our ancient ancestors did those. Well, in that, Neanderthals are a lot of people's ancient ancestors in a little tiny degree. Then yes, but they're not Homo sapiens. The Homo sapiens got the art gene from the Neanderthals. That's probably what or they just copied them. They're like, oh, I like those paintings. I'll do them. You can get out of this cave. I'll eat all your food and and sleep with your wives. I don't know whether they had wives. And that's how we got made. So we were probably very different before that. I don't know. Probably not very different. It's a little part of us. A little tiny part of us. Yes. I want to see those French cave paintings too, but apparently you can't go and see them because the breath from people went onto them and destroyed them. So unless you're a scientific person that has special permission, is it Lissau or something? Lissau? Anyway, something like that. You can't go and see them unless you've got special permission. We can't see the sky. Yeah, that's all. That's probably not how it's spelled, but yes, that's how it said. Let's go to the caves. That's where. Let's go to the caves. Let's go to the caves. Yeah. So those caves are all covered in, and they've recently found that there's dots on a lot of like the mammoths and the saber-toothed tigers, and it's actually they've worked it out that it's probably a calendar so that the ancient people knew when to catch them. They're like, well, this is in season in April, and you find them running about a lot in May, and this is the time that is best to get that tiger. Catch the tiger, catch the tiger. Anyway, there are caves in Wales. Yes. Well, there are caves in Wales. There are all caves. There are caves that apparently have the sleeping King Arthur, who will awake one day and save us from tyranny. Hopefully in the next couple of weeks. So King Arthur and his merry men, that's a different thing. He didn't have merry men. He had round table knights. So yeah. But I am very afraid of potholing and going in the caves, and spelunking is another word for going in the caves, because I've seen a lot of things about, well, I saw a musical, I can't remember what it was called, a musical about a guy that gets, it's a name, that it's a real true story. He gets trapped in a cave and he doesn't get out of the cave, which I think they based Ace on the Hole, which is a film that had Kirk Douglas in it and maybe Tony Curtis. Anyway, had some people where they artificially keep the man in a hole and make sure he isn't saved because they want to keep the story going. So that's bad. And there's a lot of like true life terrible things where people get trapped in caves, and I'm like, I don't want to do that. I do like the best caves. The best caves in Wales are the Dana caves. They are good. They're quite near Swansea, and they found all sorts of ancient bones and stuff in there. Floyd Collins, that's exactly what it is, Ollie Bean. Yes, Floyd Collins, the musical. And it was grim. You're like, well, this is jolly. He's, his family's got a cave, and he's like, oh, I'm going to explore this cave. I will explore this cave. Hooray for the cave. I'm going to explore this cave. I'll make a fortune and we'll have a lovely time. And oops, I got trapped and now I'm dead. But he doesn't die immediately. He stays there. And the thing is, they couldn't rescue him. And so he is still to this day there. They left him there. They couldn't get him out of the cave. So that's a bit worrying. And also, my parents used to be part of a gallery that I helped out in. And there was this guy called David Bellamy, who was not the naturalist, another David Bellamy, who was a watercolour artist. And he had a partner called Jenny. And Jenny, who used to go on his trips, they used to like spelunking. They went on a cave trip once, and Jenny's daughter, who was David Bellamy's stepdaughter, went there too one day, and it was the first time ever that she'd been spelunking, and she fell down the cave and her thumb got torn off. So that's not a great start. I don't think I'm going to do that. No spelunking for me. But Dan Rogoff's nice, and I've also been to the Hellfire Caves. I've got a little bit of the Hellfire Caves in Vestal Virgin. If you look very carefully, it looks like it's just a wall, but it's actually the side of a cave. Because I filmed some of it in a cave. Most of it was in my bathroom, but the rest of it was in a cave. You can see the cave if you look very carefully. It's a real cave. You can't tell, but it is a cave. And the Hellfire Caves are very creepy and weird. They've got a statue of a sort of wax effigy of Ben Franklin in them, which was really, you go around the corner and go, ah, because apparently he visited it once. And the reason he visited once is the Hellfire Caves were in West Wickham, were once the scene of a place called what's that? Hitchhike in One Direction. The Hellfire Caves were where the Hellfire Club used to meet. They were originally they were in London, and they used to be dissolute, and they used to be get up to all sorts of terrible stuff, terrible secret stuff. Ooh, who knows what it was? Secret society, debauchery. And they got thrown out of the place that they were running it in London. So they went to West Wickham because it was a secret cave. And Ben Franklin visited, and they had all sorts of things, parties. There's all sorts of rumours about terrible things that happened, like a woman went missing from the local pub. Ooh, what did they do to that woman? Scary. Anyway, it was a ghost hunt that I went to there. Go and see, right, look at Spooky History, which is a channel. And I have actually done a little, I wrote the script, and they did it. Yeah. It's Spooky History, West Wickham Caves, the Hellfire Caves. I wrote the script and somebody else did the actual performing. It is actually very good. It's good. So go and see that, and you'll find out more about the Hellfire Caves. Maybe I'll put a little link in the top and you can go and see that. Yes, that is Ash Price did the presenting for that, is his channel. Ash Price's Spooky History, written by me. Yes, it's very, very creepy indeed. It's a cave, and that's me done. And it's nearly May, and it's nearly sun, but at the moment it's still Sunday night, and it's dark outside, and we've got weird things in the pond, but we've probably got frogs as well, so that's all good. All right then, well, I'll go now. I did do Summer Festival Virgin in the Cave, but I said you can't really tell. I will please link it. I will link it. As soon as I've got off this, I'll put a little link. I think you can still put a link in the little I button. Anyway, I'll try doing it anyway. Maybe I'll just put it in the information down below, which I'll do as soon as I get off this. So I'll see you soon. Have a lovely time. Have a lovely week. Have a lovely coronation. I might not do a video next week because it'll be coronation, and will anybody see it? Because you'll all be announcing, dib, 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 dob, 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 doff your crown. Doff your crown? Yeah, we should all have crowns by this time next week. Doff your hat to the king. Oh, not worthy, sir. Anyway, I don't know whether I'm going to go to the party chase, but thank you. All right then. Bye-bye.